Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. So today's energy upgrade, we're working on the spiritual heart, and the spiritual heart is the core of your energy anatomy. And it does many, many things for us. But if I want to put it very precisely, it connects us to our truth, our strength, our purpose, and it connects us to life. So when we're disconnected from it, life can be a lot harder than it would be if that part of us was fully connected. And when I tested, it came up that 80% of people have a disconnect. Now, some of us are born with a disconnect already. That comes up at about 30% are born with a disconnect, which would have something to do with what we're carrying for the ancestors or past lives. Many of us come in with it fully connected, but then it gets knocked out through some kind of trauma, which could be birth trauma. It could be some kind of abuse or violence, or just the shock of your parents' divorce or somebody dying, or this kind of a shock to the system, which could cut your connection. And it may cut it completely, or it may cut it just partially. So today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 4 very deep corrections. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do some healing on your heart by removing things like trauma, the energy of trauma that's held in your spiritual heart, the energy of loss, the energy of fear, pain, abandonment, grief, shame, these kind of energies. We want to pull them out of your, so it's like doing a cleaning of the frequencies held in your spiritual heart. The next thing I want to do is I want to expand your spiritual heart's breath. The spiritual heart's breath is your ability to breathe in life and to breathe out and engage with life. So breathing in life is like, I'm really breathing in life. I'm really doing life in a big way. I'm not hiding away. I'm not making myself small. I'm not blocking life from engaging with me. I'm really engaged. And I'm really letting myself express and be out in life. So if your heart's breath is contracted, that's not going to be your experience. The next correction I want to do is to regulate your spiritual heartbeat. Your spiritual heartbeat is the pulse of your spiritual heart. And when it's functioning properly, it should be completely in sync with the pulse of life. And what that means is that you've got your timing is right. So you fall in love with the person at the right time when you can come together, or your work comes out at the right time when people are ready to hear it. You're in sync with life. And if your spiritual heartbeat is out of sync with life, then you create wonderful inventions and life is not ready for you. You're out of sync. So we want to get you in sync with life. Then I want to bring your heart back into its power place. So when we've gone through trauma, it's almost like, see, the heart is like the driver of your whole system, your spiritual system, but also the part of you that just engages in real life stuff. And when we go through trauma, the heart gets knocked sideways, and it's almost like you're driving the vehicle from the passenger seat. So you're like this, trying to steer the vehicle, and I'm trying to go over there, but because of this awkward place that I'm not sitting in my power place, I'm not very precise with where I'm trying to go. It's going a bit here, it's going a bit there, and it's not really, you're not driving with mastery. You're not really getting to where you really, really want to be. So I'm going to bring your heart back into its center, into the driving place, the driver's seat, the power place. And then through this work, the heart should reconnect fully. So if you'd like to just sit comfortably, and you can close your eyes. And you can just focus on your breath, just a nice, relaxing, easy breath. Just to ground in and bring your attention to your heart. And just see if you can feel the difference between your physical heart and sense the spiritual heart. which is a field of consciousness, a field of energy. So we're just going to open the field, opening to magic and miracles, blessings, love, and gratitude. And we open to the infinite power, potential, and possibilities within the cosmic field. And we access the now point of power. And we're asking for divine and cosmic protection for this session and for ourselves and for the work that we're doing here today. And we're asking for a reality upgrade, an upgrade to our whole energy matrix, an upgrade for the whole of our life and our identity in a way that is appropriate and beneficial for us. And we're going to call in our spirit teams and all the healing teams and light codes and technologies and the grids that we need to assist us to do the repair work so that we can repair and reconnect to our spiritual heart at 100%. And just stating that all the work we do here today is done multidimensionally through all layers, all levels, all dimensions, all realities, all universes, through time and space. And we're doing this work throughout the totality of your multidimensional matrix, from your inner earth level to your cosmic level, and through your triple aspects. So we are going to begin by imagining that we're all standing together in our very favorite place on earth, somewhere peaceful out in nature. And we're standing in a circle all together. So from your heart, please send out a beam of green heart light to everyone else in the circle. And as you do this, allow yourself to receive all the beams of green heart light coming back to you. This beautiful energy of love pouring into your heart. And just notice how these beams of green heart light crisscross each other in this sphere between us. And they form a sacred geometry of heart light. And we are going to go step into that field of consciousness. So we're working in the field of love. This is where we're going to do our work. So in order to do this work, we're going to activate two very powerful grids, which are going to assist us with the energy upgrade that we need to do today. So you can begin by tuning into the inner earth. And we're going to start by connecting to the Phoenix grid. Phoenix grid is a crystalline grid within the inner earth that removes deep, deep blocks, old energies, old obstructions in your consciousness. And it's made up of giant etheric crystals at power points all around the earth. So there's one in Glastonbury in England. There's one in Giza by the pyramids. There's one at Table Mountain in South Africa. There's one at Uluru in Australia. There's one in Antarctica. And there's one at Mount Shasta. So just as you connect to this grid, just know that there's a deep intelligence in this grid, and it will clear anything that is ready to release in your consciousness. And the second grid that we're going to be working with today is called the cosmic grid. And this is a grid up in the heavens made up of real and etheric stars. And what this grid does is it brings you into a higher frequency and a higher expression of who you are. So we're going to imagine that we are placed right in the middle of these two grids, almost like being in this cosmic machine that's going to clear out all the old energies and then just going to recode us and elevate our frequency. So we ask our teams to please activate the Phoenix and Cosmic grids so that they can assist us in repairing and restoring our spiritual hearts. So we're going to begin with clearings. So we're going to ask our spiritual teams to please locate within our spiritual hearts any frequencies of trauma, any frequencies of pain, any frequencies of loss, of grief, of hurt, of anger, of rage, of wounds, of betrayal, any frequencies of abandonment, disconnection, of lack of safety, any frequencies of limitation or restrictions, any frequencies of control or neediness or smallness or contraction, and anything else which is stored within your spiritual heart and which limits the truth, beauty, and power and functionality of your spiritual heart. So we ask the teams to please clear all of these frequencies in consciousness, whether they come from an experience that you've had in this lifetime, or from one of your parallel selves in a parallel reality, or whether they are inherited from your ancestors or they come from past life. So we ask the teams and the grids to remove and delete all of these energies from your spiritual heart and fill it with cleansing light and high frequency consciousness, which starts to restructure your spiritual heart, allowing it to repair itself and to return to its true, authentic power. And we're going to ask that this work get done at the right time, the right intensity, the right speed, the right frequency for you, and that this work keep on running, if necessary, after this session is done, until the work is done. Now we're going to look at healing your spiritual heart's breath. So this correction is about your spiritual heart and its ability to breathe, to expand and feel expansive, to feel alive, to feel its power to take in life, and then to move itself out into the universe. So think of your spiritual heart as your core. So when your core feels safe to take in life and safe to go out into life, take in life and go out into life, then everything else follows that. So when the spiritual heart can't breathe fully and expansively, then your spirit stays small and contracted, fearful of being big, fearful of being seen, fearful of living courage or expanding. So this is really when this part of you is functioning well, it's about letting yourself expand, letting yourself take up space in the world, letting yourself be seen, letting yourself relax to just be as you are, and to explore new versions of you and to reinvent yourself when the time comes. So teams and grids, please clear all the blockages to our spiritual heart's breath, removing these blockages in any form that they show up as, including any wounds, any thought forms, any inheritance, any old stories, any old paradigms, or anything else not mentioned, which blocks your spiritual heart's ability to breathe expansively. Teams, please repair all damage and restore optimal functionality, allowing your spiritual heart to breathe openly, easily, and at optimum and maximum capacity. And please do this multidimensionally through all layers, all levels, all dimensions, all timelines, all universes. So please activate and anchor this work. Thank you. Now our next correction is to restore your spiritual heartbeat. So this is about your spiritual heart and its ability to beat in a strong and even way, with your spiritual heart being your connection to the fundamental pulse of life, which also moves through you. So we want to beat in harmony, in sync with life. So the spiritual heartbeat relates to spiritual strength and courage and alignment to your truth and purpose. So this is your energetic core, and it's the rhythm of your soul. And when the spiritual heartbeat is weak or out of rhythm or misaligned, it's like the pulse of our being is off, and we're off, and we're not in sync with life. So this can make us feel off, it can make us feel depressed or misaligned, or we miss our chance, our timing is off. We can't get in sync with what we're trying to achieve with other people. So teams and grids, please clear and remove all blockages and anything which prevents our spiritual heartbeat from functioning in perfect alignment with the pulse of life itself. Clearing and removing all blockages in any form in which they may show up, whether they come from our ancestors, clearing all ancestral blockages, clearing all past life blockages, clearing and deleting all karma that is causing this misalignment, clearing any energies that are bleeding through from your parallel selves, clearing any blockages relating to gender or race or religion or spirituality or culture, clearing and removing any interference which is causing this misalignment, removing any implants, explants, stepping out of all control grids, removing all crystals and geometries, clearing all psychic attack, deleting all limiting beliefs, all low frequency emotions, all limiting behaviors, and all energetic blockages, and anything else which I haven't yet mentioned, but which is also interfering in the proper functionality of your spiritual heartbeat. We ask the teams, the Phoenix and Cosmic Grids, to repair all damage to your spiritual heartbeat, to restore optimal functionality, to clear all weakness, disconnects, or misalignments, and return your spiritual heart to its full power and its natural rhythm, allowing it to beat powerfully and evenly in 100% alignment with life itself. Please do this multidimensionally through all layers, all levels, all dimensions, all time frames, all universes. Please activate and anchor this work, and let this work run at the right frequency, in the right time, in the right duration, and let it keep on running after this session is done until the work is complete. Okay, so now we're going to work on your spiritual heart's power place, getting your spiritual heart back into its power place. So as I mentioned before, when we've experienced a trauma, the spiritual heart usually gets knocked out of its power place, which is like being in the driver's seat, because the spiritual heart is the driver of the whole system. And so it will sit there for years off center. So again, it's like driving your vehicle and holding the wheel from the passenger seat. It's not a power position to be in. You're not likely to direct your life with precision from that place. In fact, you're likely to go off track and experience challenges because you're just not able to drive your vehicle properly from that position. So I'd like you to just tune in for a minute and see if you can see, where is your spiritual heart? Does it feel like it's in its center? Maybe it feels a little bit to the right. Maybe it feels a little bit to the left, or it might be sitting a bit above or below. Or maybe it's in some other dimension. Where does your spiritual heart sit? Now, we've done a few corrections, so it might be closer to center now. But just see if you can intuit where it is. It might be completely off center, it might just be a wee bit off center. So we're going to ask the teams and the Phoenix and Cosmic Grids to please clear anything that prevents your spiritual heart from returning to its power place, to the driver's seat. We're going to clear and remove any old energies, any old patterns, any old limitations, any trauma, or any interference from any source or dimension that is preventing your spiritual heart from coming back and sitting in its power place. So teams and grids, please return our spiritual heart back to its center, its power place, its throne, the place from which it connects and aligns wholly to life and the universe through all levels and dimensions. The place from which it can direct your life with mastery, with intention, with precision, with success. So please line that up so that we are 100% connected, aligned, and in rhythm with all of life at the deepest level of our being. And please do this work multidimensionally through all layers, all levels, all dimensions, all time frames, all realities, all universes. Now please reconnect us 100% to our spiritual heart, allowing the spiritual heart to reclaim all of its functionality, all of its power, its deep alignment with our truth, our purpose, and with life itself. And let all of that power and that centeredness ripple out to all the other aspects of our being, realigning our ability to manifest, realigning our ability to heal, realigning our ability to be intuitive, to intuit what's next for us, and what next wants to grow out of us, what we want to create in our life, what we want to express and offer to life. Allowing us to reclaim our power, our truth and our purpose, and our deep connection to life. We ask that this work continue well beyond this session and run until completion for as long as is needed. And we anchor this work into our inner earth level. We anchor all of this work and these corrections into our earth level and our subatomic particles. We anchor all of this work into our DNA and into our cells, into our bones, our organs, our hormones, our tissues, our fluids, our eyes, our nose, our mouth, our ears, our skin, our teeth, all our organs, our body systems, and our body functionality. We anchor all of these corrections and these adjustments into all of our chakras, all of our meridians, all of our nadis, and all the electrical and energetic pathways that run through the body and the energy body. We anchor all of these corrections and these upgrades into our mental body, realigning our beliefs in accordance to this new higher alignment that we've just created for ourselves. We restructure our emotional body to harmonize with this greater centeredness that we've activated. And we realign all of our behaviors to anchor and align with this deeper connection to our spiritual heart. We realign our energy body, our light body, and our rainbow light body with this new upgrade to full power connection with our spiritual heart. We realign with our soul, with our dimensions, with our star aspects, our angelic aspects, our source aspects, our galactic and our cosmic aspects, all realigning in a new way now that our spiritual heart is fully aligned. And now we realign all of our externals. These are all of the physical aspects of our reality. So we realign our health with this new upgraded spiritual heart. We realign our money with this upgraded spiritual heart. We realign all our relationships with this upgraded spiritual heart. We realign our creativity, our purpose, our self-expression. All aspects, all these 3D aspects of our life are rejigging now and realigning now that our spiritual heart is fully online. Now coming to our inner aspects, we realign our personality, our identity, and our ego with this upgraded spiritual heart. And all the old identities that we were wearing, carrying, that do not align with this more powerful spiritual, aligned spiritual heart, we're just going to let go of those old identities. They're finished. We thank them for their service and send them to Creator. Our inner child gets realigned with this deeply aligned spiritual heart. Our inner mother and father, our wise guides, get realigned so that that inner wisdom can be even more connected to our spiritual purpose and our spiritual heart. Our inner voice is realigned as are our inner masculine and our inner feminine. And we now reconfigure all our inner archetypes so that any old archetypes that we were carrying, like the victim or the wounded, we can just let those go. They are not in alignment with who we have become now that we are fully aligned and connected to our spiritual heart. And any lost parts, cell parts, soul fragments, heart fragments that split off due to traumas, we can now reclaim them, bringing them back through divine filter and reintegrating them into the wholeness of who we are. And now, working with our timelines, we're going to go back and work through all our past selves and past timelines, bringing that deep alignment to the spiritual heart and sending it back in time to who we've been throughout all timelines. So when we work going back in time, this supports who you are becoming, who you've become. So going back to all the versions of you that were struggling, that needed support in really key moments of your life, just sending this upgrade to reconnect to your spiritual heart so that that part of you that was struggling in the past just has this strength, and suddenly something came in place and I got realigned and the challenge resolved itself much, much easier. And let's come to the present moment and to all the versions of you that exist in this multiple present moment, in this multiverse that we live in. And let's send this upgrade to all versions of you and all timelines in this now present moment. And moving into the future, we send this aligned and fully connected spiritual heart to all future versions of you in all timelines. And this creates a deep sense of alignment multidimensionally that really, really strengthens you and gives you power, because all versions of you are deeply aligned to their spiritual heart, which means to their strength, their truth, their purpose, and connected to the pulse of life. So from your point of focus in the now moment, just connect to all the versions of you that exist. Just know that in all realities, you are strengthened and centered and powerful and aligned. Now I'd like you to just connect to your heart's desire, whatever comes to mind first. And just project that in front of you onto a screen. Just let yourself take the steps to manifest this as your reality. Knowing that you are a finely tuned spiritual instrument and that you have the power to create your heart's desire. And I'd like you to claim your dream. Claim this thing that you love, whether it's something external, whether it's a person, whether it's an expression of you, whatever it is, just let yourself claim it and pull it into your heart, knowing that your heart is so much more aligned and so much more whole than it was when it was carrying the old stuff and when it was knocked off center. Just knowing that whatever you choose to create is going to be so much easier now that your spiritual core, your spiritual heart is online. So let that really sink into your knowing about your skills and your power as a spiritual being. You really have the power now that everything is functional, now that your heart is back in the driver's seat, and all you need to do is follow your heart and trust that you have the power to manifest the reality and the being and the life that you choose. And so all of this work, all of these upgrades, all of these clearings may run for a little while after this session, just depending on your system and how fast or slow your system works. We each have our own individual rhythm. So you might feel tired after this session. You might need a rest or a bath, some food, whatever you need, just give it to yourself. or your energy might feel a little wobbly or weird. And that's just your energy body rejigging. So just trust your process. And just believe in your shift. So we are going to thank our spiritual teams for coming in to assist us in this process. And we're going to thank the Phoenix and Cosmic Grids for giving us the additional power to do this clearing and restructuring of our energy bodies. Just thank ourselves for showing up for this. So we're going to seal this work in a cocoon of magic and miracles. Blessings, love, and gratitude. The infinite power, potential, and possibilities that exist within the cosmic field and the now point of power. We're going to call in divine and cosmic protection for ourselves and our work to protect us. And we're going to ask for real world tangible results, a reality upgrade, a life upgrade, an upgrade of our whole energy matrix as appropriate for each one of us. Thank you. It's done, it's done, it's done. Okay, so while everybody comes back slowly, and just before I turn off the video, I'll just say that the Alchemy training is starting this Wednesday. So if anybody is interested, you can just go to dominiquemalley.com and find out about that training. And I'm going to turn off the video in a minute. And for those that made the live, I'm going to do some testing for you just to see if you are fully connected. Just turn off the recording.